It's Adrian.bo, Director of Ray White Park Coast Eastern Suburbs. I love coming to you about history and also local property information that can assist you making buying and selling decisions. Today I'm going to talk about 6 trends that will impact property investors in Sydney's Eastern Suburbs. If you're wondering whether or not to buy an investment property in Sydney's East, today we're going to explore 6 reasons why there may not be a better time to buy than right now. Number 1, the rental market is tight. While Sydney's property market was in decline over 2022, when it came to sales, its rental market was booming. Over the past 12 months, the median Sydney-wide rent has lifted 26% according to SQM research, with apartments rents rising by 30.1%. Rents here in the Eastern Suburbs have risen even higher still. Number 2, yields have also risen. Because rents are high, property investors are receiving a much higher income today than they were 12 months ago, potentially offsetting any increase in interest rates for those investors who have a mortgage. This is reflected in the implied gross yield, which now stands at 5% for Eastern Suburbs apartments and 3.3% for Eastern Suburbs homes, according also to the data provided by SQM research. By way of comparison, in September 2021, investors were receiving a yield of only 2.9% for apartments and just 2.7% for houses. My third reason is historical rental returns have been top of class. While there may have been a spectacular jump in rental prices recently, the reality is that our area has a history of delivering strong rental returns. SQM research once again also reveals that the median 10-year rental growth in Sydney's Eastern Suburbs is 4.9%, with rents on houses growing on average 5.7% and apartments by 4.5% over the past decade. It's not only rents that have been growing, the other and even more impressive part is capital growth. Asking property prices have also grown by an average of 7.1% over the past decade and 8.5% over the past few years. Point number 4, the population is increasing. While prices may be down at the moment, the potential for long-term capital growth in Sydney's Eastern Suburbs remains undeniable. One key reason for this is that Sydney's population is increasing, and the pace of population growth is only going to get faster. While immigration levels were down during the pandemic, the federal government announced an increase to the skilled migration cap to 195,000, and history shows around a third are likely to call Sydney home. We're also seeing the return of overseas students en masse, as well as internal migration from other parts of Australia. As a result, the Sydney region's population is expected to swell as many as 9 million people by 2050. Every one of those new residents will need somewhere to live, and as always, the Eastern Suburbs will be one of those areas in strong demand. This should put even greater pressure on house prices and rents. Point number 5, there is an ongoing housing shortage and no end in sight. While the city's population is growing, the rate of development is struggling to keep pace. The New South Wales Department of Planning revealed New South Wales will need to build as many as 62,800 new homes a year over the next 5 years just to meet the growing demand for accommodation in our city. Sydney's East is one of the worst affected areas. The housing shortage keeps sales prices very high and is likely to mean demand stays strong for some time to come. My final point is that the Eastern Suburbs is very resilient. Finally, property investing, like any type of investing, is a matter of balancing risk and reward. As an established area, buying into Sydney's Eastern Suburbs is like buying stock in a blue chip company. Our area has high demand, strong fundamentals, good infrastructure, and a history of delivering stable growth. So while Sydney's eastern suburbs may be more expensive than other parts of the country, they're likely to hold their own even when the market is flat. This often makes eastern suburbs property a sound investment in any market cycle. I hope you've enjoyed my tips about property investing. Please reach out if I can assist you with buying or selling on 0418 278 316 or adrian.bo@raywhite.com. And always remember, your home is worth more with Adrian Bo.